Hey everyone, this is Anthony from Sitka Design, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a full video walkthrough for one of our past case studies, Luke Mori Real Estate. You're going to find value in this video whether you're a real estate agent potentially looking to up your digital marketing. It's maybe somebody working in Webflow or Figma and trying to understand what a real estate agent would be looking for in a website. Or maybe you're somebody working for a real estate firm and in charge of the marketing. Either way, if you're interested in luxury real estate or real estate in general and using Webflow for your new website, this case study is going to dive into exactly what we did in order to make this project a big success for our clients. So with all that being said, let's get started. So Luke Mori is a luxury real estate agent based in British Columbia, Canada. Now, Luke had a previous website before we started this project, but there were some issues with it, and we decided to work together in order to bring his new website idea to life, get him more leads and higher quality leads. Let's dive into the case study here on Figma, where I have the different chapters laid out. So if there's a specific section that you're looking to look into, you can just click to the timestamp below for that. First things first, Luke Mori Real Estate, helping a top luxury agent attract 1% buyers with high intent lead generation, automation, and SEO. That's exactly the goals that we had for this project. We wanted to take Luke's old dated website and move it into a more modern, luxurious feeling website, clearer calls to action to really incentivize people to call him, pick up the phone, and realize that he's the best at what he does in his area. The different chapters that we're going to be going through in this case study are the key successes, previous problems with the site, the new goals of the site, the site overview, process that we did, SEO, the results, and finally the tools that we used in order to make this project come to life. Let's get started with the key successes. So these are just some of the results that we've seen with Luke's project since we've put it live. Now this is an older project of ours, but we just wanted to showcase this to show you what we can do at Sitka Design. Some of the key successes: 77% click-through increase on Google, pretty amazing. A 48% average engaged sessions increase, hundreds of high-intent new leads, a new fully automated custom API, and 40% more organic search traffic. And not to mention, #1 search engine results page for high intent keywords. And this is a really key component to making Luke's business grow. Now, unfortunately, I don't have access to the previous site, so I can't show you that site as it was. However, these were some of the things that we talked about when we started this project. There was dated design, dated content that was out of date, new laws had come into place, and new things that would change the way buyers were looking at the landscape. Not semantically correct for SEO. There were H tags out of order, there were divs being used for sections, and everything just wasn't aligning great. His SEO wasn't too bad, however, there was a lot of low-hanging fruit that he was leaving on the table. He did have a custom API built, which essentially what that was doing was pulling data from the Canadian Real Estate Association and putting it onto his site. However, it was quite a simple version and we were missing a lot of keywords and details that we were able to pull with really no extra work. So the new site goals. We wanted to have a modern, luxurious website design that really attracted Luke's clientele. We wanted to use Webflow for development. We wanted to boost SEO and get some of those low-hanging fruit keywords that I spoke about, increase his warm leads exposure, more data from the automation, which kind of ties back into the SEO, and copywriting and conversion rate optimization. Again, we really wanted to hit home to make some clear CTAs and get Luke more high-intent warm leads. Let's dive into the site and show you exactly what we did for Luke Mori Real Estate. So I have the site pulled up here and we're just going to go through this together. So the homepage, Luke actually had a lot of content already for his site. Luke had spent a lot of money to get some really great media made, so we were able to make use of that throughout the site. Professional photos, lots of different listing photos, etc. So we decided to go with this video right on the hero header here, which I know is a big attraction for a lot of real estate agents, especially in the luxury space. So this video was pre-made, we just put that in. Now Webflow does have quite a bit of bandwidth limits, and that's something that is a bit of a downside to Webflow, is it's expensive to host with bandwidth limits. So we actually hosted this video using a Vimeo embed and then messing with the style parameters there in CSS in order to make it a full screen video there. Scrolling down here, we have the CTAs here, so view listings and learn more. People want to learn more about Luke. They really want to feel comfortable with him, especially if they're making a transaction in the millions of dollars. They really want to trust him and feel like they can trust him. So that was one of the goals for this site, to really make it feel like Luke was a personal part of this brand. And then view listings here, obviously just to view Luke's listings. Luke has won quite a few awards. He was featured in Serhant, Luxury 2021 winner, the New York City Journal. We wanted to showcase that, again, building trust. This was a really important component of the site as well. So we have MLS listings, which is just multiple listing service listings. And this is really just any listings in his area, both his and other people's. Luxury listings, so this was a listing anywhere over $1 million. And waterfront listings, self-explanatory. The city that Luke operates in is very highly regarded as a lake town, somewhere where people want to move maybe after they retire or they've made some money, want to settle down, and they want to have a boat and a dock and spend time on the lake, things like that. And last but not least, sold properties. We wanted to showcase that Luke was capable of dealing with high intent buyers and high-end buyers that are looking to buy in the millions of dollars range. Next, we're going to go down here and there's a huge write-up about Luke. This has lots of different keywords in there and really just, again, hitting home that personal touch for Luke Mori. Some of Luke's stats and the Luke Mori featured listings. So these are some listings that we pulled, and these are all part of the Webflow CMS. And we pulled that data from the CREA API. Now there's a filter on here. I believe it's the top listings by price. And we just wanted to showcase these three. So then when people get on the site, right away, they can see the high-end listings available that Luke has. A few different sections here. This is a buyer's guide here, and then a seller's guide. Again, some more sold. Client testimonials, which Luke has plenty of, which is amazing. Luke is also on YouTube, where he does home video tours. We can actually go back there. And this is a very important section that we wanted to add to the site. This is a CTA that's on basically every page. We really wanted people to come to this site as almost like a hub for Luke Mori. So basically, they could come onto the site, whatever page they're on, whether it's for buyers, for sellers, a specific listing, maybe it's a blog post, they can scroll to the bottom and see this CTA here with a picture of Luke on the phone. It's showing that he's committed. He really wants to work with people that want to reach out to him about moving to this area. So we have a phone number, email, his office address, and then also this big Contact Luke Now CTA. This has been really great for Luke in terms of getting more high intent leads. And then last but not least, the footer with multiple links here. So for the listings page, we ran this all with the Webflow CMS. We pull this data into the Webflow CMS every single night at midnight. And this basically ensures that Luke has all of the updated listings in his area set by certain parameters. So we had a minimum price there, I think, and then I believe it's a certain amount of distance away from the town that Luke normally operates in. And basically, this is all automated. So we built this on the back end for Luke, and it pulls all this different data for Luke, even if it's not his listing. So let's say that there's a really special listing out on the lake. Luke doesn't necessarily have that listing as a seller. However, because we're ranking for certain keywords, people can come to Luke's site and then hire him as the buying agent in order for him to maybe reach out to that other agent and get in on this transaction for the property. So this CREA API is actually really amazing in terms of data. There's tons of different information that you can pull, and we opted to pull quite a bit of that information. So obvious things are like if it's a leasehold or a freehold property, the listing price, the city, the year it was built. But then once you actually get into the data, you can find other really interesting pieces of data about the home. So for example, the type of heating it is. We have features of the lot. We also have all these different photos that we can pull. The fireplace, there's also fireplace type, etc. And this was super, super important for us because now we're actually starting to rank for keywords. For example, as I mentioned, this town is on the lake. So people want to basically find out if there's a dock involved or a boat slip. So now when people type in this city's name, boat slip, houses for sale, a lot of our listings come up because we have that piece of data being pulled from the CMS onto the listings pages. You can see that we have the address at the top, the bedrooms, bathrooms, home size, acres, and the price. And if you go down, here's all that extra information that I was just talking about. And because we're pulling with the Webflow CMS and putting that data onto the site, we actually have full control of all the semantic heading tags and everything like that in order for getting this data to rank. Next, we also had the neighborhood pages. So if we want to go into these neighborhood pages here, we basically just talked about the average sale price, population, and the type of community it is. Now we opted to not use the CMS for this. And the reason was at the very bottom here, we want to use this map feature. And unfortunately, we weren't able to make a custom query into that to get the map for that area. And maybe things have changed in Webflow since we've done this. However, at the time, that was the reason why. But we did build this whole site using FinSuite's client first framework. So this is all semantically correct, and it has the same structure for each of the communities. So we basically did like a top here with a heading, a bit of a get to know it, and then a few different sections here just talking about what's in the community. So if we go to another one here, we can see the average sale price, population, etc. We also really wanted to hit home what it would be like to work with Luke as either a buyer or a seller. So if we go to buying with Luke under buyers, this is a guide to what it will be like to purchase a home with Luke, what you can expect before you decide to work with Luke. So there's a few different steps here. And then if we go to the sellers one as well, it's exactly the same thing, just basically a guide to what it would be like to use Luke to sell your home. So again, different step-by-steps, answer key questions, marketing your home, receiving offers, etc., etc. And really the goal behind this was to avoid people calling Luke for small questions. We really wanted to, again, use this as a hub to answer questions that people had about potentially working with Luke. Inside of that, we also added this international buyer's guide. Now, in Canada, we have a lot of foreign buyers, and especially moving into places like this where they can get a lot of bang for their buck, maybe where they're coming from, but it allows them outdoor activities and things that maybe their country doesn't offer. So this is something that was outdated on his old site, and we updated this with recent laws, again, to attract foreign buyers that potentially may want to move to this area from a different country. And last but not least, we did a lot of information about Luke, who he is, and what you can expect working with him. A big component of this website was to hit home the trust factor. So we have Nelson BC's top realtor, and then again, information to contact him, some of the awards he's won, some kind of cool animations here, and a little bit more of a biography here as well about Luke. Testimonials. And last but not least, we have this contact page, which again is like a more big CTA for people to reach out to. We also have it up here in the corner of every single page, the email and phone. One more thing that I just want to talk about before we move on is in the listing section, we have all of these listings separated here. Now, this is for, again, SEO purposes. Potentially, a lot of the times, people are moving to this area with a specific type of home in mind. And so we're actually ranking for a lot of these keywords now that people are specifically looking for, which again brings in high intent leads and buyers. Great, so that's the overview of the site that we built for Luke. Now, the process that we used, we built the site in Figma with a basic design, and then we actually refined it in Webflow. Because Luke knew what he was looking for, what he wanted, and what his old site didn't have, we were basically able to take the old site and the information that was working really well, create redirects, redesign the sites, and then also add in our own special touches for things that have changed, or potentially things that Luke also wanted to add that his old site didn't have. So things like FAQs, more data for the CREA API, et cetera, et cetera. We did keyword research for the copy. Again, that kind of ties back to the SEO and those high intent keywords. And then the automated API that we wanted to build for him as well. That one was a little bit finicky to get working. However, we did get that simple base version working first, things like the price, bedrooms, bathrooms, and then we added on all of those extra pieces of data to, again, really juice up the listings pages to get him to rank for those special keywords. SEO, detailed information guides. This is tying back to the buying and selling pages that I mentioned. Those are a lot of questions that people have, especially when they land on a realtor's website, is what is it like to buy with you, or what is it like to sell with you? The International Buyer's Guide, and this is again for foreign buyers. We want them to feel comfortable coming to this community and having someone that's going to lead them around. So having this has actually been a huge driver of traffic for foreign buyers for this area. niche keywords. I mentioned that people want to move to there for a boat slip. Maybe they want a big piece of property with hiking nearby. Maybe they want to be in town. Maybe they want to be close to the ski hill, and maximizing site speed. Now, I touched on this at the beginning, but we did want to maximize the speed of this site. Now, with the thing with realtors, and especially luxury realtors, is they have so much amazing content that they want to showcase. However, a lot of content, if it's not optimized properly, can bog down a site, affect SEO, which is essentially the opposite of what you want to be doing. So as you can see here in Webflow, you can't see the video playing. And that's because I have it in this Vimeo embed here in the background. So Vimeo is essentially acting as a content delivery network, delivering this video for the website. So that's easing the load off on the Webflow site when it's loading. The same thing with all these images. These are very high quality taken images. Luke has worked with a high-end content media agency in the past. So they have these big images, which we just had to optimize to make sure that they were the right size for the site and also not going to make it too slow when we did load this. That is something that I do think is worth keeping in mind, especially if you're working with real estate agents or APIs, is the images a lot of the time can default be very heavy, very high resolution when you don't need them to be that high. So that's the overview of Luke Mori's site. And I want to talk about the results here a little bit as well. We got a brand aligned new site for Luke. Again, the real things that we wanted to hit home were a modern, luxurious feel. And so that was the black, the white, the little subtle gold here that we have for a lot of the headings. It almost feels like a Century 21 type feel, like a really luxury. We took a lot of inspiration from luxury presence as well. Again, because those kinds of things are working for these people who are selling these high-end homes. So why reinvent the wheel? We just wanted to use those places as inspiration. Boosted SEO. Again, the results for this have been amazing. So the click-through rate, again here, 2.6% from the previous 1.6%. So a whole percent increase on that. Also, we got 27.5% active user increase, 27.1 new user increase, average engagement time up 17. And then the other stats that I mentioned at the beginning as well for different time periods. However, they were all an increase over 3, 6, 1 year, 16 months. Another thing I want to talk about for the results of this project is Luke started to see immediate impact. He was getting high intent new leads almost right off the bat, and also more high quality leads. There is a new real estate development happening in town, and we actually had some developers from out of the city and out of the area reach out to Luke because he seemed like one of the top agents in the area to help sell this new development. And again, they were there because of the new SEO strategies put in and website, and they came here, they felt like they could trust him, and it was a great website for that. Last but not least, I just want to talk about the tools that were used for this project. So we built the site in Webflow. This is the powerhouse that we use at Sitka Design. It allows us custom, flexible ways to build these websites, but feeling like we're almost using a drag and drop builder with the way that we can design things. So we always build our websites in Webflow, and we recommend most people that come to us asking what builder they should use. We usually say Webflow, even though it might be a little bit more of an investment up front. It's just such a great way to make a custom feeling website. You can change things so easy. You could hand it off to a marketing team, or you can hire us to continue to manage it month to month. And it's just so easy for us to make those changes. We did a little bit of design in Figma, and then these are the tools that we've been using since the site has been launched to really monitor things. So Ahrefs for SEO audits and search traffic, the CREA, which is the API that we use in order to pull the real estate data about Luke's local area and implement that into the site. Google Analytics, which we're using to monitor the site traffic. Google Search Console, we're managing the organic search traffic, what keywords we're ranking for, the queries, the average position. And then a bit of a sleeper one here we're using as well is Bing Webmaster Tools. Now that's a great one to see where you're ranking on Bing. And a lot of the time I'm finding is you actually ranking for keywords on Bing that you might not be on Google and vice versa. You can use the different tools to find different keywords to rank for on each search engine. The last thing I want to mention about this project is it's fully responsive. So because a lot of people are browsing for homes on their phone these days, this was a super important thing for us to add to this website. So as you can see, as I shrink the site here, it all moves nice and fluidly, and we can still do the home video tours, the property descriptions. Everything is nice and spaced and put together no matter the breakpoint. Again, this is key because I believe for this particular site, we actually receive almost 60% more mobile traffic than desktop traffic. Again, we want people to feel comfortable reaching out to Luke, and we need this site to reflect that from the very beginning, because that's really probably the first place that people are going to land. With all that being said, that's Luke Mori Real Estate. And if you want to learn more about this project that we did, we do have a case study over on our site here. Luke Mori Real Estate, helping a top luxury agent attract 1% buyers with high intent lead generation, automation, and SEO. And that's got some pictures of the project here. Luke left us an awesome review. Thank you, Luke. And some pictures of the project. And then there's more specific details down here about exactly what we did if you didn't find that in this video. But with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed this case study and you learned something. And if you want to build a website, I really highly recommend using Webflow. And also for luxury agents, real estate firms, brokers, et cetera, it's such a great way to pull data, especially from these external APIs, into the Webflow CMS and just have it fully automated. It takes a lot off your plate from updating listings and stuff like that. And yeah, I really highly recommend it. So if you ever have any questions about using Webflow, or maybe you're looking for a new site for your real estate firm or brokerage, please do reach out to us at Sitka Design. I'd be happy to talk to you through the different options we have and also make your project come to life. So with that being said, this is Anthony from Sitka Design. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.